Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Matt McCoy. One person is dead after a fire destroyed a home near the 5 Points area in Alberta City. Details in tonight's top story. According to Lieutenant Travis Parker with the Tuscaloosa Fire and Rescue Unit, it happened on the 600 block of 34th Avenue East just before 5 o'clock this morning. Parker says the person who called in the fire said flames were, quote, shooting out of the window. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. In tonight's Crime Watch, the search continues for a man wanted in connection with a rape. Authorities say it happened Thursday night at a laundromat in Alberta City. According to the Tuscaloosa Metro Homicide Unit, the victim was at a laundromat on University Boulevard, and around 7:30 Thursday night, she saw a man outside the building. Authorities say when she stopped to check on him, he attacked her. Here's a description of the suspect from investigators: a white male in his late 40s with a white beard. At the time of the attack, the victim says he was wearing a faded maroon sweatsuit and black beanie cap. If you have any information, you can call the Tuscaloosa Metro Homicide Unit at 205-349-0518 or make a confidential call to Crime Stoppers at 205-752-STOP. The opening weekend at the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater continued tonight. Patti LaBelle and the OJs took the stage. Tonight's concert is the second in opening weekend. Last night's concert featured the Avett Brothers and was sold out. Tonight, thousands of fans packed to hear the soulful voice of Patti LaBelle. WVUA spoke with some of the fans to find out why they came up to the amphitheater tonight.
When you go inside, it's not like you're in Tuscaloosa at all anymore. Like you're some big venue somewhere in a big town.
I'm looking forward to see Patti roll around on the floor and kick her shoes off.
The amphitheater has already announced several major acts for later this spring and summer. Country music superstar duo Sugarland takes the stage April 15th. Another country music star, Kenny Chesney, will be at the amphitheater on May 25th. Ventriloquist comedian Jeff Dunham and his cast of characters are set for July 8th, and Steely Dan is scheduled for August 20th. For more information about upcoming acts at the amphitheater, you can visit our website, WVUATV.com. There you can find a shortcut to the amphitheater website. Just click on numbers and links. Some scary moments for 118 passengers on a Southwest plane Friday. Now, Southwest Airlines has announced it's grounding 79 of its Boeing 737 jets for inspection following an incident where a 3-foot hole opened up on one of its planes, forcing an emergency landing in Yuma, Arizona. Barbara Hall has the latest on the investigation.
The U.S. National Transportation Safety Board has arrived in Yuma, Arizona to investigate the emergency landing Friday night of a Southwest plane. 35 minutes into its flight, a 3-foot hole blew open in the Southwest Airlines plane headed from Phoenix to Sacramento, and the cabin lost pressure.
Our mission is to determine not only what happened, but figure out why it happened so that we can prevent things like this from happening in the future.
Passengers describe it as a loud pop and a rush of air into the plane.
And bam, I mean, just incredible noise.
45 seconds later, oxygen masks came down and the plane descended rapidly as the captain performed a safe emergency landing in Yuma, Arizona.
I thought we were going down. I really did. It seemed like we were dropping pretty fast. Just all unreal. So I had to do a nice long prayer.
It flashed through my mind is like, is this what it's like to die?
Southwest Airlines released a statement saying it's working with the NTSB to determine the cause of the depressurization. Its fleet of Southwest Boeing 737 aircraft will be inspected over the next several days.
It was a scary experience, but we got through it. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be home with my family.
Reporting in Atlanta, I'm Barbara Hall for WVUA News.
Back here in West Alabama, a former Alabama state senator received a big surprise earlier today. The city of Moundville honored former 21st District Senator Phil Poole by naming the town's Little League baseball and softball field in his name. The parents and community of Moundville raised over $250,000 to build the field. The field was named Poole Park. We spoke with Poole after the ceremony, and he told us he's glad to have his name on a sports field because if he believes kids should get involved in sports and clubs, it also came as a big surprise.
I don't have anything in my district named after me. I've always had a policy of not naming things after me, and I've had people ask me that before, but I've always turned them down. So they surprised me with this, and I have to admit it's a very nice surprise.
Senator Phil Poole served District 21 for 15 years. Poole Park is located off Highway 69 South in Moundville. The early bird catches the worm, and in some cases, the fish. That's why dozens of people gathered today for the 3rd annual North River Christian School Bass Tournament. Event coordinators say that there were 73 boats involved. Competitors could catch up to 5 fish and have them weighed for money pots and various prizes. The competition began around 4:30 this morning, but they tell us that having people come out and support the school was well worth the early hours.
It's to support our kids and just give them the things that they need so they can be successful and succeed. So anytime you do that, I think it's a good cause.
Today's event was to raise money for the North River Christian Athletic Department. Local organizations put their running shoes on this afternoon to raise money for Kenya. The St. Mark United Methodist Church and the First United Methodist Church joined forces to host a 5K for Kenya, a race to raise money for children in the town of Kitale, Kenya. Over 100 runners joined in the run this afternoon, followed by a pancake breakfast to raise money for the children. Co-leader of the 5K Run for Kenya, Philip Smith, told us it's all about raising money for the children.
The goal, of course, is to get as many of those street kids off of the streets and into a more normal environment for them and to be taken care of truly. And to do that, of course, it takes more and more finances.
Smith says they're always looking for sponsors and community members to help the Kenyan children. If you would like to help in raising money for Kenya, go to www.challengekenya.org. The strip on the University Boulevard was packed with so-called gladiators this afternoon. It was all part of a Red Bull chariot race where students from the University of Alabama competed in a 3-person human-powered race in handmade chariots. Awards were given out for the fastest chariots, the best design, and most creative. Some of the gladiators say their chariots were built in a few hours and cost less than $5 to make. Red Bull chariot contestant Mark Smith told us he's just waiting to see the outcome.
We've had several test runs. With limited success. Several test runs though, and it's been exciting. We'll see how it goes.
The Red Bull chariot races were created to celebrate Greek life and school spirit. Today's event was the unofficial kickoff to the University of Alabama's Greek Week festivities.